Look for the similarities, not the differences. Go be of service to the rest of the community because guess what? Your laughter is contagious. Just like a disease is contagious or illness, so is laughter. So be a part of society, not against it. And let's unify. I don't want to be Pollyanna, but that's just the way it is. And I love living like that.
Welcome to This Helps. I'm Marlon Morgan, licensed therapist and founder and CEO of one of the world's fastest growing mental health organizations. Very proud to do that with an excellent team. Humility. I am here with a friend of mine and producer AQ, aka producer Andrea.
Producer Andrea in the house. Here I am.
On this podcast, we do one of my favorite things. We start with it anyway, which is finding problems to talk about, to think about, and just kind of stay in that problem-focused mindset long enough to find someone who can help us with that problem and go all the way from admitting that I actually need help, which I do, to talking to someone, seeing how they've dealt with the issue, and then hopefully getting some wisdom that you and I can both take with us to make our lives better and something that actually helps. This week, I got to talk to, you know him, you love him, stand-up comedian and mental health advocate, Craig Shoemaker. Being hilarious is great, but he did something else that I'm pretty interested in, which is why I think he might be able to help us here today. He started a nonprofit called Laughter Heals. He brings together comedy, mental health, with the belief that laughter can be a genuine tool for healing. Now, the problem that we're coming to Craig with is I hear stuff like that a lot. And I think laughter is the best medicine. Yes, that makes sense. But so many times I get lost or I'll go for like the fast, cheap joke or the negative joke, and I don't feel better. Actually, I feel worse. So what Craig did is developed like a framework that actually does make you feel better using comedy, using laughter. We're going to go over the framework. We're going to talk about why it works, how it makes you feel better. I'm going to give you a little teaser though. The word laughter, acronym. We've got L, starts with love. We've got A, acceptance. U, uniqueness. And just in case you thought this was too serious, we get to G. It's just giggling. Then H, humility. T, truth. E, ego. I'm pretty sure that means like checking it, which is going to be sad and hard to do, but you get to hear it all go down in this episode you're about to listen to. And then R, I think Craig is telling us that you can either reboot or restore or both. So I'm excited. Hopefully we can learn something. I think this will help. Enjoy. Craig Shoemaker, we are so glad to have you on. Craig, the famous comedian Shoemaker. Real quick, we just went through this, but one thing that stuck out to me is funniest comedian, but funniest male comedian, which sort of, I feel like there's a story behind that, and there's probably a female there that was just a little bit funnier. But can you tell us about how
that would be Wendy Liebman?
What it was like?
Wendy Liebman is my favorite comic, so yeah, she's funnier than I am. She won the female, and I won the male. At the American Comedy Awards. There it is, my award right back there. See where my finger is?
Oh yeah,
there it is.
We're trying to get more people to watch the show, not just listen. So if
Emmys
you want to see,
there, let me tell you, those are all great trophies. Here's my prize trophy. Okay. I have it right here next to me. This is the best thing I've ever won in my life. It's the, hold on 1 second here. I won the horse's ass award at my ex-wife's family reunion. You see the horse's ass there? Isn't that beautiful?
I love it. And for people who can't see it, it's literally a pedestal with a horse's ass on
Just
it.
the ass.
Yeah.
And I'm most proud of that. As a matter of fact, during the fires,
Oh,
You
well,
have to
that's a
come
great
back and
time.
you have to get your stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I went, "What am I gonna get?" I left the Demi all that stuff I left behind, but I took the horse's ass because I could never get that one again.
That's
Or
right.
maybe
No,
I could,
well,
but
I mean, it might take a while, but yeah, I'm not sure what the competition was either. So yeah,
I'm always in the lead in that department. And the other one I grabbed was, something also unique. When I was a kid, I used to write letters to famous people to fix them up with my mom because I didn't have a dad.
great,
So
great.
I collected baseball cards. I could care less what they hit. I look for one thing: marital status. The hell with RBI and all that stuff. Marital status. So
That's sort of a stat. Yeah.
I can literally tell you that Mike Schmidt was married to Donna Schmidt, Larry Boa, Shayna Boa. I discarded a Hall of Famer. I discarded the card because they were married.
That's not worth anything to you. I
Exactly.
mean,
So I
yeah.
found my guy Tim McCarver, and I said, "Mom, here he is. Here's your husband." And I wrote him a letter to Veterans Stadium. I said, "You should meet my mother. You won't be a bachelor anymore. Here's her photo in her belly dancing outfit." So
Oh,
anyway, he
great.
never wrote me back, but things take time,
That's
right? I
that's
Yeah.
told Joe Buck that story. It's his longtime friend and broadcast partner. Next time I see Joe Buck, hands me a ball
Yeah.
signed by Tim McCarver, and it says, "Dear son, time to grow up."
Finally, it
Love
finally
Dad.
happened.
Love Dad.
You-
Yes, and finally, I still never met him. He passed away.
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh,
the same year my dad died.
oh,
Couple years
Well
ago. So I never met that dad. I met my other dad, even though he left when I was born, but something I said.
ever
And
see the two of them in the same room together?
no,
Well,
I never met Tim McCarver. I can't believe he just signed the ball and that was it. But that was I took during the fires. I took that ball and the horse's ass trophy. They can never be duplicated.
great.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say you got the horse's ass trophy during the fires, which it was like kind of like with great power comes great responsibility, and you
And I
just
failed
really
at every
rose to the occasion.
yes, they gave me the horse's ass because of the way I
Yeah.
handled the fires. Actually, quite frankly, during the fires, I moved my ex-wife in with us at a beach house
Okay,
because I
that seems like
really,
the opposite of a horse's ass would do that.
that's the other ex-wife. But
Did you get the other half
I
of
would
the
never do it
trophy
with the
for
other.
this?
But this one, I want to show the kids, be an example of forgiveness and kindness, being of service. I want to show them that.
Yeah.
And so she moved in with us for a few days.
The thing that actually is something that I don't always see, and sometimes you get someone. So where are you out in LA?
Yeah,
Is
I'm
that
out in Calabasas, Agora Hills area. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
love LA.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
humble
beautiful.
brag. I
Was
asked
that a
that
humble
just so
brag? Really? Was it
well,
really?
I mean, Calabasas is not bad. No,
Well,
Agora Hills also not
I
bad.
could be in like a studio that somebody's giving me their garage. I could be there, but yeah, I guess it's.
Well,
that's a good point.
But I'm
I
not.
want to let you brag because actually that's what I was going to say is you have a side to you, and I've heard you talk with other comedians before, and you've had this very long, very successful career. But and I should say, it's not just that you're hilarious, but I don't think I've ever heard you talk shit about another fellow comedian. Even the ones that
Oh,
kind of like everyone, I feel like they bring it up just to do it. And I even heard you defend a guy that had kind of a reputation. I'm not going to bring it up, but the kind of a reputation for stealing jokes. And you said,
oh,
hey, maybe he may have steal jokes, or he's kind of known as a thief, but he's actually a very
he
good
was.
person. And
I found him to be incredible. At the last minute,
Yeah.
he stepped up. I did this weekend called Enlightened Up. Had a lot of
uh-huh.
speakers. He happened to be at a wedding at that hotel. He
Oh,
popped in, and he was the highlight. He was amazing, and was so raw and real. It could never have been stolen because it was his life. So
yeah.
I have total respect for him. Listen, most comedians have done some sort of thievery growing up in the business. You're scared and
Yeah.
you go to a joke. And they call it hack or whatever it is. Who are we to judge anybody in life anyway? There's nobody that's scot free on anything in life.
N
There's
That's
nobody.
true.
And the ones
That's
who
true.
sit back and judge, usually they're not judging themselves. And that's my most important thing is I'm going to keep on excavating inside of me, and that will come out. And I get
Sort of
better and better even at comedy from doing that, because I have a good personal development. That's what it takes. When I teach, by the way, I
mhm.
coach people in finding their sense of humor, the seventh sense. I call it the seventh sense, a sense of
Great.
humor. Nobody develops that very much. I also teach comedians. I say it has to do with off stage, not on. You're on stage for minutes. You're off stage for hours upon hours and days upon days. So who are you? Who do you bring to any situation? And we
You
are in
talk
so many different situations in the stand-up business.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
talked about that I've heard you mention kinda how much we laugh when we're kids, but then it's sort of
Yeah.
we do the opposite of grow in that area as adults, probably because life's stressful and people are dicks a lot, but what, and I'm not saying anyone in particular, just so you know, because I'm not as, I have a more of a problem with that because I'll, without my knowledge, start feeling insecure and find myself throwing someone under the bus. So, I just when you didn't do that, it really stuck out to me. So I appreciate
That's
that
that's
about
that's
you.
that's nice of you to notice that, and not that I'm scot-free on coming down on my kids laugh at me because I actually have the T-shirt on, "Stuck between namaste and kiss my ass."
Okay,
This
all
right?
right.
And
Well,
then I just
we're gonna see both sides of that today, right?
it's a exactly, it's a slogan I came up because I really am like, when I drive the kids at school, I am not namaste.
Mm.
I actually yell out, "Soy!" You know what that
Yeah.
means? Self-obsessed idiot. "Soy!"
Oh,
And the kids laugh at me all the time, like, "There's a soy!" And then they go, "Dad, you're a soy. I can be
yeah.
a soy. That's okay if I'm a soy, if they can't be a soy." So that's the way I think, our world is turning into as we expand it through social media, which is very unsocial.
Mm,
Everybody's
yeah,
picking each other
disconnected.
apart because they don't wanna look at themselves. Get a big mirror. That's the most important thing is just call yourself on it. I'll call myself
Mhm.
on it that I'm a soy and many
Yeah.
other things, you know what I mean?
Is soy an original Shoemaker,
Yeah, it's an
term?
original. Yeah, I have a lot of originals. So is the T-shirt.
Okay.
I have another one called "Stop Global Whining." That's my
Uh,
original as well. I'm so sick of
good,
people whining all
good.
the time.
I feel like you can piss off
Victims.
both sides with that shirt. You can go to
Mhm.
Costco or something and just everyone is going to feel like you're talking to them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I love
great.
Costco. Don't you make fun of
Oh,
Costco now.
Oh,
whoa.
oh, well,
Craig,
we
you don't know. You don't
no,
I'm
we
the sample king. That's you know what that is? Dim sum. That's what I can say.
that's
Costco dim sum.
great, great. Yeah, it's
Who
kinda like you
which
gotta
one of
be
you 2 does the samples? Which one of you? Raise your hand.
well, I mean, definitely me. I don't know
I
how
feel ashamed to admit this here in front of Marlon because I know how important Costco is to you. I've never been inside a Costco.
Wow.
I know. You
Wow.
didn't ask during the interview, Marlon, so
I never
you
asked because I was nervous this was the answer.
yeah.
And I'm and the other thing is and Craig, we gotta be kinda careful here. I want Andrea to be able to feel comfortable, like she could just say whatever, but I'm a little nervous that as soon as because the one thing she won't talk about Costco, but geography, states, and 2 in particular,
Well, you know why
as
I've never been to Costco, Marlon. I hate to interrupt you. If I
well,
can't
no,
get it
you
at
don't hate to interrupt me. You loved this interruption.
if I can't get it at Wawa, I don't need it.
Oh, well, listen, Marlon, I don't know if you're down with the Wawa, but it really is one of the greatest stores ever.
Mhm.
I
So I'm
gotta
I'm gonna go over to Andrea on this one, you know, if I'm making a judgment. Wawa's above Costco.
That's right.
I would have done a
My
hot
rank.
take and really tried to I would have got, in over my head immediately if I hadn't just been. But I was just
Mm.
at a place in I think it was where were we? I mean, we're gonna have to edit this to make it seem like I'm not making it up because oh no, it was DC.
Yeah.
It was across I was staying at a just so everyone knows, if you ever want to not to brag, an AC hotel. The rooms are uh deceptively small. There wasn't a bathroom door, which is like a new thing. But
Mm,
anyway, uh, so right across the street, I didn't know what it was, and the person at the desk thought that was, she was judging me pretty hard for that, but she then said, like she was used to saying it, it's like a high end 7-Eleven. And
that's
like for
exactly
everyone from the West Coast, she
yeah.
just said it's like a high end 7-Eleven.
Yeah, and it's great if, it's great for the drunks, be like 2 AM. "I gotta go Wawa.
Yeah.
Get a soft pretzel.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Hoagie. Get a
Yeah.
hoagie."
Great.
Philadelphia has the worst accent in history, by the way.
Yeah.
Y
Oh,
Well, you can't agree. Craig's allowed to say that.
I knew it. I
All
knew this.
all the
I want to get it over early. Just
Yeah,
you guys, why don't you guys just do your thing? I'm gonna go take a break.
I'm gonna ask you a word that drives me nuts that the whole
Oh.
country says this word wrong, but we have it right in Philly. Now, I'm gonna say we have terrible words like water. There's no such thing as water, but we say it anyway, like it's a block of wood that they're gonna bring you. Now, here's the
Great.
word. They just had the basketball, tournament, right? How do you say
Mm.
that word? Here, we're here for the basketball what? Go ahead.
I think he's
Yeah,
asking you, Andrea.
no, Marlon. How do you say that word?
I know.
Tournament.
Look, I feel just as strongly in the other direction. I say tournament.
Tournament, see?
Yeah.
How do you say it, Andrea? Tell them how it's said. Huh?
Tournament.
Tournament.
Yeah.
Now, Marlon, I'm going to take you down the path here. Springsteen doesn't go on tour. He goes on tour. Nament. Come on, dudes, we're going on tour. 1, 2, 3, fur. The word is for, not fur.
Well, I'm having a great time.
I'm conflicted.
So you can't be conflicted when I take you through this.
No, it's objectively true. I'm going to just say right now, it's objectively true. Another person I listen to podcasts, he is always going to tournament, and it seems so so much effort. And
well, the tournament people are Philadelphians or Baltimoreans, and that area is the only people say tournament. I studied this throughout the country. They all say tournament. Drives me crazy. Even the broadcasters say. Once in a while, you get and somebody from England actually says tournament.
I would agree with that. I would expect that.
I would expect it too. I want to have an English accent.
Can you do one? You do some great impressions.
Well,
I do. I'm going to ask for a few of those.
What I used to do was I used to do impressions of these older actors that no one knows anymore, so I could be doing anyone.
There's a few. I went through because I had this so someone who is listening in the background is our friend, former co-host on the podcast, my assistant Hannah. She is 25 and she gets zero references. So I literally, I went through all of the kind of voices I've heard you do in the past, some of my favorites, and I picked a few that are still alive. So we'll get to that.
Well, this guy is not alive. My favorite English actor of all time is James Mason.
Okay. And even I don't know that one, but I'm ready to listen.
He was in a movie called Heaven Can Wait.
Okay.
And he played the guy from Heaven. Did you ever see Heaven Can Wait with Warren Beatty?
No.
And he was also in Lolita. I'll do it. Here's a scene. Lolita, hold still. I'm trying to give you a pedicure. Lolita. I think he won an Oscar too for a Paul Newman movie. What was it? It was like in 1985. He's a brilliant actor. I know all those old English guys. I watched them growing up, and
that's why you like tournaments.
Tournament.
Yeah. There's one that I was not expecting you to do. That was, close your eyes and Morgan Freeman's in the room.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
I don't. Yeah.
You want me to do them from Shawshank?
Yeah. Yes, please.
In 1966, Andy Dufresne escaped Shawshank prison. All they found was a set of other prison clothes, a bar of soap, and an old rock hammer nearly worn down to the nub. Andy.
That absolutely perfect. Better than the man himself, I would say.
I actually imitated him, and because we couldn't get him for the movie, I was him in a movie called Totally Baked that I wrote. And the whole movie opens up when you think it's Morgan Freeman. It's really me. We couldn't afford Morgan Freeman.
Well, could you afford the lawsuit afterwards? What happened?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I'm not saying, hey, I'm Morgan Freeman. Yeah. I didn't say that at all. All I said was, here we are. We're Totally Baked. And you can make your own assumptions.
Oh, man.
The other guy I do is Liam Neeson from Take.
Yes, please.
We have a very special set of skills I've acquired over a long career. Skills that help me deal with people like you. Now, if you let my daughter go, I will not look for you. I will not find you. But if you don't, I will find you, and I will kill you.
These are all better than they have any reason to be. Like, every time you do one, you're like, it's like, why are impressions so fun?
I think they're only fun if you're really good at them.
Well, that's 100% true. Yeah. This would be,
this
painful
would be no fun
if
at
these
all
weren't
if they
so
sucked.
good. But this could be the whole podcast, and I would be.
You guys are rolling your eyes, going, "Oh my god, we got to change subject."
But we could do this all day, and I'd have a great time.
I have one story for you on someone you don't know because you're too young, but I'll tell the story anyway. There's a movie called Pleasantville, right?
Yeah, I remember that coming out.
Tobey Maguire and Reese Witherspoon.
Yes.
Very young at the time. This is like 1999, I think it was, or something right around there. And it's black and white. It's a really beautiful film. And Don Knotts is in it. Now, if you don't know Don Knotts.
I know Don Knotts.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Furley,
Mr. Furley, Three's Company. There you go. And he was also Barney Fife on the Andy Griffith Show.
Yep.
For
Yeah.
years, I've imitated him, and he loves it, but he was always loved it. I have a picture of him back here to the day I met him, right
I
there.
mean, if you wanna
There
hold
I am with
these,
him.
okay.
So he got old, and his voice changed, and they
Right.
called me in to loop him because he was sick. So half the
Oh,
movie of
cool.
Pleasantville is me looping him
Whoa!
as the TV repairman.
You're kidding.
So here, I'll do it for
Yeah,
you.
let's hear it.
This is him as an old guy. This is a scene from the movie. He circles an apple on the telestrator. It's my voice going, boom, right there. What do you call that? Right there, bud. The forbidden fruit here in Pleasantville. I'm your TV repairman, bud.
I feel like you turned into like a cartoon for that.
Oh,
that was amazing.
The face is perfect.
He's actually, I do his voice in a cartoon series that I'm very close to selling. I'm very excited. It's called Chicken Ship.
Great.
It's chickens in space.
Uh-huh.
And you've heard of you see Star Trek?
Oh yeah.
Captain Picard?
Yeah. Jean-Luc Picard?
Yes. Well, we have the chicken, his name's Captain Peckard.
Great.
It's Peckard.
Great.
Make it so, number one.
That was another one. Patrick Stewart. I actually forgot about that one.
Oh, yes. He doesn't like that I do that.
Oh, no?
Didn't you?
We did a movie together, and he didn't like me because I kept imitating him. Go do a little comedy skit elsewhere, Craig. so then they said a fight scene, we're supposed to fight. And they brought in, they go, we got stuntmen for you. He goes, I don't need a stuntman. Do you, Craig? And he shamed me into having no stuntman because he knew in the script he wins the fight. It's not a fight.
He just wanted to beat up on you without you being able to.
So bad, he kicked me into a fern. Watch the movie. He kicks me into a fern backwards, and we get up, and he goes, I think we need to take two, don't you, Craig? 9 takes later, I'm bloodied.
He seems like the most like a person that would take themselves seriously. Like I wouldn't want to just jump to conclusions with him, but he really does. He's giving like Sam the Eagle from the Muppets all the time. I feel like
he's definitely but I hear he's very fun and funny. He did the voice in Ted, which is one of the most irreverent movies in history.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was like the narrator.
Seth MacFarlane.
Yes, Seth MacFarlane. So obviously he has a loose side to him. I loosen him up.
Maybe. Do you think he knew it was a comedy? I think they just were like, we love your voice. Will you come in here?
The bottom line is, if he got a big paycheck, he'll do anything. That's the way Hollywood is. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that check from Ted. Make it so.
Yeah. He should have been nicer in that situation because I feel like once this episode goes out, his career's over.
Yep, that's it.
I'm going to switch gears because one of the reasons I wanted to have you on here is so I could do abrupt transitions that no one was expecting. So I did. So I got that.
Expected them
I got
fully.
that. Thank you. Okay. Well, as you can
they've
tell,
been a little too smooth.
Not my day job. Not my day job.
I think
your day job, your day and night job, which is great, and it's always feels great to be on with someone who's a real professional, been in movies for 40 years. But I think if the one thing I do want to focus on again to transition from a transition and talk about your laughter acronym, which you did a TED Talk. You've done a couple, but one of them is you have something for each of the letters, which is how an acronym works. In case any of our listeners aren't, familiar, but one of them, when you talk about connecting with people, it's connecting with them through movies and old sitcoms. I do want you to do the acronym, but can we just talk about some of your favorite TV shows first?
Oh, sure. My favorite shows?
Yeah. Of all time, and give us maybe
Schitt's Creek made me laugh a lot.
Great, great. Who's your favorite in that? Who do you like? We're gonna talk well about people.
I liked every single one of them. That's one of those. I like when there's a great cast, when everybody's great. Curb Your Enthusiasm, absolutely hilarious. And I go way back with Jeff Garland, who plays Jeff Green in this show.
Yes,
we go back to when we were kids. In the business. And
I remember he moved to Chicago when he was getting started, but
he moved to Chicago from where we met was Florida. He was living in Fort Lauderdale. And me and other headliners came down, and he was like kissing up to us because he was just starting. We were all really young. We were like 20 years old. But we did a dare thing that ended up in his one-man show. That's how he was discovered. We went into a mall and dared each other to do things. I can't even say on here what they were. I can tell you what mine was.
Okay.
And he opened for me recently, and he actually told the story. And I have credits, and they usually introduce, he's been on Netflix, and he introduces me as, here's the guy that swam naked in a fountain of a mall, Craig Shoemaker. Yes, I took my clothes off and swam naked, and they stole my clothes and ran away with them, so that was not good.
What'd you do? Did you just get up against the wall?
Through the mall, it's slippery marble, but I made it, and I tackled one of them, which he was not happy about, so he gave me my clothes back. But we all dared each other, and it ended up in his one-person show.
Lovely.
And that's how we started. But anyway, I love that show, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Who knew?
Curb's great.
Who knew it would all start in a mall doing dares?
I can't believe that.
And the acronym, by the way,
yes, please.
See, I'm helping you with your segues.
Craig, you know what? If you could just do the rest, that would be great.
Hey, Craig, tell me about the acronym.
Yeah.
Well, Marlon, the acronym all spawned from my time spent at a cancer facility. A cancer facility?
Yeah.
That's not very funny, Craig.
This is honestly better than it was.
When you hear the story, Marlon. What's that?
This is honestly better than it was. All you need is Andrea to talk about New Jersey right in the middle of it. And then
North
I think
Philadelphia.
You've recreated the show.
Yeah, the two people. I will say your Marlon impression is not quite as good as your Morgan Freeman, but you'll get there. You'll get there, I think.
I wasn't trying an impression that time. I will work on it. By the end of this, I'm going to have a Marlon down.
He was just doing an impression of a good host. And it was working, to be honest. But
I was on fuego. Well, it did spawn from, I did a movie called The Love Master, right? And that was my first
That's a voice.
movie.
Go back. Tell us about XM and those days.
The Love Master is a character I do. And my buddy Michael Goldberg, who wrote Cool Runnings, Little Giants, he was the director of the movie. And we always bonded through laughter, me and Golds.
Mm-hmm.
We raised our kids to be Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, Phillies fans, watched the games together, always had fun. Everything's about laughter with us. So then I've had many people that see my show, this is no exaggeration, that have come up to me and said, we want to thank you. We couldn't conceive a child, and after your show, we went home and made love, and we now have a baby. This happened. I could show you a picture of one that was conceived in the parking lot of the great.
I thought you had
no, it's not me doing the conception. It's them imitating the Love Master, which always sounds like Kermit the Frog. Love Master, but they're laughing and they're loosened.
Pretty good.
They're not trying so hard to have a baby. Yeah. They loosen up. So I was told this by several people. So Golds, we're in Arizona, and his wife is there, and we're in a condo about to watch a game. And it's between days of filming. She says, I'm ovulating. I said, hey, try the Love Master. I'll go get sandwiches. And sure enough, baby Kayla was born 9 months later.
Incredible.
This is 5 that I can count, but that have told me, by the way, that this happened, right? So I'm like a fertility clinic over here. This laughter.
So is it the laughter that just gets them off guard and in a good mood?
Exactly. Energetically, which we'll talk about in a little bit, because I hadn't studied it at the time. But this is what happened. A year and a half later, he got brain cancer. And they gave him 3 months to live. His daughter's a year and a half or so. And that was my moment. That was literally my moment in my life. I call my ha-ha moment. Where I went, if laughter's the best medicine, why are we not deploying this? Why are we not having prescriptions of laughter instead of all these things that have 19,000 side effects?
Yeah.
Why? And I asked myself that question, and he started going to someone I know runs this cancer facility. And I said, well, let me go in there. And he showed up for all of it. And I developed these programs, guided laughitation, intentional laughing, where you don't need a joke. You can just volunteer to laugh. Because laughter is very subjective, as your audience could tell you. They're not laughing at me at all. Some are laughing like crazy. I don't know. You don't know.
We'll find out.
For instance, Patch Adams. He's in that business of making the kids laugh, but honestly, tells you how subjective it is. He showed us my hospital room with a clown outfit, I'll pull the plug. I don't wanna live. It's not my jam. I'm not gonna laugh at a guy with size 19 shoes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Not my thing. Nothing
Yeah.
against him.
Yeah.
His great intentions. Now, Norman Cousins, he locked himself in a room. He had a disorder that he was supposed to pass away. He lived 30 years past that prognosis, right? Because he locked himself in a room with Three Stooges tapes and Marx Brothers and what his taste was in comedy. So I developed this whole thing where you just intend to laugh. So Gold showed up for all of it. I gave the prescriptions. I would have them, as you were talking about earlier, I'd have them share your favorite sitcoms and your favorite movies, and they would share them. Whenever you say that, people go, I can't be funny like you're a comedian. No, just say your funny movie or a funny line from the movie and watch how many people relate to it. I say, those aren't pillows. All the people are laughing because you recognize it from places.
Right place, right show,
Perfect,
Craig, right show. That's good.
So you see what I'm saying? It's like anybody can be funny and have fun. So we did this in this cancer facility in the Valley. He showed up for all of it. They gave him 3 months to live. He lived 15 years past that prognosis. 15 years.
Wow.
Because when you laugh, you have a will to live, and the mind is so powerful when it comes to healing. And if you're told constantly, as a matter of fact, they said, don't beg the doctor, don't give us a prognosis, but the doctor did it anyway because that's what they do.
Right.
One of my goals is actually to work with doctors and caregivers to have the better bedside manner, to bring humor. You want to bring joy. You want to lift them because it oxygenates your body when you laugh. Healing endorphins are released. Stress is relieved, which is a huge cause of illness, stress.
I think it's the biggest cause of illness, really.
It even helps the efficacy of the medications laughter does. Think about how you feel. It shifts your vibration. So I did all of this work to end up here where I now have coursework that I do. I take people through courses. I mean, I have these unbelievable stories that say, you're doing the right thing, Craig. Just keep on going. Shift people's vibration. Keep it high. And that's what laughter does. I now do something called a laugh bath, which on this retreat, we'll be doing a lot of that. It's, sound bath, about that. Shifts your energy. Well, this is the silly cousin of the sound bath. And I'm just watching miraculous results. We did it at Zion Healing Center a few months ago. And I do a thing called chuckle chatter also. You say out loud what's bothering you. What's your obstacle? What's in your way? What's your fears? And this woman says, my daughter doesn't speak to me. It's been years. Our adult daughter doesn't speak to her. And I swear to you, this is true. I'll show you the text. Afterwards, I can feel things that it really kicks my intuition in. I say, wow, you just shifted yourself. You shifted your whole energy to the universe. Your daughter, you will repair this relationship. I will proclaim it right now. This is in Utah. The next day, her daughter called her.
Wow.
She texted me on Instagram, DM'd me, and she goes, my daughter called me first time.
How long had it been since they talked?
10 years. And that day, she shifted her energy. So this is no woo-woo stuff. This actually happened. And I was like in tears when I read this. I mean, I go from spirit and vibration and stuff, and I did proclaim it, but I didn't know what happened that fast. It was unbelievable.
That's got to feel good,
I see
though.
Results of better sleep and better relationships and everything all improves when you laugh more. So this is my goal. So I came up with a program using it back to your acronym. This is 9 hours later. I'm getting to it. So
I thought I had a lead up, but no, this is good.
So I broke it down to a coursework. This is a seventh sense. We all need to work something else. I came up with a seventh sense. Why don't we do the sixth sense or five senses? Why not the seventh? Your sense of humor.
Sense of humor.
Why are we not working on our seventh sense? Develop that seventh sense. You will feel better, period. Even if you do remain sick, you're going to feel better. You live longer. You live a better, more vital life. So anyway, I created this acronym. And here's the base. L, laughter. L is for love. Everything is based in love. Even sitcoms that have a conflict, they always have love between one another. Name a sitcom. Everybody loves Raymond. They were always at odds with each other, he and his brother.
It's in the name.
Here comes Robert. Oh, my God, we got to run away.
Hey, Raymond. That was my...
Well, not bad. Not bad. By the way, here's a little trivia for you nobody's ever heard before. My son went to the prom with Brad Garrett's daughter. Anyway.
Really?
Sidebar.
That's okay.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Yeah. No, that's much better.
Oh,
That's
boy,
That's like
But
That's a Sam the
they were
Eagle.
in conflict, but they had love at the bottom. You look at any sitcom, there's always love at the bottom of every so L is love. I have people list what you love, and that's the vibration you come from.
It's great.
Next is A, is acceptance. What do you not accept? That's what conflict is. That's where conflict and funny comes in, something you don't accept. Like I have a whole list. I just made a list of 15 pet peeves I have on Facebook posting. I just listed it and said, "What are some of your favorites?" Like when they say thoughts and prayers, but they don't tell you what it's for. So I got to go do a dive now into their feed. I'm wasting my time finding what's the thoughts and prayers over. Anyway, a whole bunch of habits I can't stand on Facebook.
You gotta be a detective.
So now you smiled at that because there's a recognition. You're recognizing your frustration over somebody doing that. And that's what comedy is. You're really hitting that space in us, like a recognition space. So there's that acceptance. That's the A. You is unique. This is a very good one. This is like a party trick that I give. If you list what makes you unique and you bring those to any situation you're in, people always remember you for that. Like, for instance, there's a guy who took my course, Sean. He tells our Zoom class, I swim with sharks. Oh, really? In a cage? He goes, no, I swim with them. And now we're all going, what? No one will ever forget that about it. He was talking about being scraped up against his mask. I will never forget. This is years ago, and I still remember that from Sean and other people too. Another one's a Wiccan. She says all these Wiccan ceremonies. She'll always be that. My mom belly danced to my high school graduation party. People will always remember that. So these unique things, I have people list them like an inventory of your uniqueness, and you bring those to any relationship, and people, wow, you're always memorable that way. So the G is giggle. What makes you giggle? Like, what are the things that make you giggle? I giggle people hurting themselves. I'll be honest with you. If they take a fall, I lose it.
Right.
My latest one though is I love karma coming back at people. You know, porch pirates, they steal boxes.
Yeah.
Well, they set them up now with paintballs that exploding paint.
I've seen that.
Cannot stop laughing at these because they get mad. Why would you do this?
Yeah.
They're covered in paint. They're so mad at them. Why would you steal from them, you idiot?
Yeah.
But that's such a reversal. I love the karma. And I literally watch these all the time. And I have a thing, you should go there in Facebook called the Laugh Mob. And there's no politics. We're completely religiously agnostic. We're agnostic with politics. We just post crap that makes you laugh. And that's all we do. I post a lot of porch pirate stuff. This happens to be my big giggle lately. That makes me giggle. I just love it.
Good.
So the H is humility. You list your rumbles, your stumbles, your fumbles, your crumbles, and your tumbles. And humility draws you into people. You become more magnetic the more you admit these things to make you humble.
Yeah. That's huge.
T is truth. A lot of people lie. We all lie. Everyone lies. So start telling the truth about things that you've lied about. I'll give you one of mine. When I went away to college, I figured they're not going to Google me or nobody knew me. I said that I was a black belt in karate.
Oh, classic. That is a classic one. Yeah. That's like the girlfriend in Canada or a different school or something.
My uncle who works for Nintendo.
Yeah. Exactly. My friend, he always had a girlfriend you never met.
I said my sister was Debbie Gibson when I was at a park with some kids, and I was just like, I was like, Tiffany, she's great, but Debbie Gibson, that's my sister.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, now you would admit that lie, and you get clean that way.
I'm glad I did it.
The truth sets you free.
Yeah. And it's hilarious.
I was like a white belt with a gold stripe, and I call myself a black belt. And I would say I have certified lethal weapons. I tell the guys in the fraternity, if I hit you, I will be arrested for attempted manslaughter. There's a whole story I came up with.
I'm glad you were that committed, though.
Oh, I was committed. I'm a committed guy. That's how I've lasted this long in this life and business. And the E is for ego. I call ego an acronym for evading growth opportunity. Every time you lead with your ego and you try to say you're something that you're not, you're evading your own growth opportunity where you can actually work on yourself, not come from ego, come from a higher power, come from a place of service, all of that, and be humble about it.
I mean, these last three are like really help you deal with anxiety. I think that and some of the gratefulness that goes into the other ones, it's hard to be anxious and humble and be telling the truth, because we get anxious when we lie to people, because it's like, oh, that sucks. That means it reminds you how much you actually do suck, and then
it piles up.
But yeah,
and you internalize it, and that's where the toxins come in. And we're just so angry. I'll give you another example with the politics thing. People don't understand how you're fed something from an echo chamber algorithm. They literally feed you.
They do not understand the algorithm.
And then you regurgitate it and make it true, justifying your anger. So I told my friend, I said, "What purpose are you serving?" "I'm making a stand," he would tell me. "I'm making a stand. What are you, MAGA?" He says to me, "People have to have categories." I go, "Hey, man, I'm your brother who loves you.
Yeah.
And you're killing yourself. I'm not kidding you when I tell you this story."
Yeah.
I said, "You're drinking poison and hoping he dies. It serves no purpose. And if we're going to be the meek shall inherit the earth, the meek are resentment free. When you live in resentment like that, that's why I can't understand how spiritual people are doing this in this game of, look at this meme, look at this meme. Here's all the ways you can hate him. Look at all his problems, all his, taking his
Well, the Sermon on the Mount, which you just quoted, is all about how to hate people, right?
Yeah, exactly. Get up on the mountain and start hating. If you read it carefully, you will find that. So Peter, I said to him, and then I tried to get his friend also was in with me. She goes, "Oh my," she's his next door neighbor in Hawaii. And she says, "I can't stop him. So he really thinks he's doing the right thing, and I'm doing the wrong thing by not, making these stands and protests and all that kind of stuff." I'm not kidding. He died of cancer fast.
Yeah, that happens. That is just a well-known fact, especially throughout psychology and biopsych, that we are killing ourselves when we allow hostility will give you a heart attack faster than anything else.
Yeah.
If you hold on to anger. I mean,
I'll give you an example. My laugh bath, I say, name an emotion. One of them is anger, right? Anger and laughter can exist in the same space. Watch. You want to do this with me? Ready?
Absolutely.
All right, ready? Both of you. Take a breath through your nose and let out a ha. Ready? Ha. Ha is a beautiful spiritual word. Hallelujah, aloha, Haagen-Dazs. Ha. Now you start giggling. Ready? See how easy it is? Your body doesn't know the difference. Now you say out loud, right? You take that emotion, say it out loud, and watch. Ready? Go. You say it with me. I'm angry. I'm so pissed off right now.
I'm so angry right now.
I hate everybody. Woo! I'm so angry.
I'm pissed.
All right, now, take a breath in. Take a breath in. Now, in that moment, you had a smile on your face, and you were not angry. You can't be depressed while you're laughing.
Yeah.
You can't have
I did get
anxiety
angry when you were talking politics on the inside, and not at you, just at the situation in general. I was just upset. And then I was a lot less. I got kind of more upset when I tried to say I was angry and laugh at the same time. And now I feel relieved.
And that was a quick one. You can, it's really to shift our world into this beautiful state of vibration, this high vibration. That's what laughter does. You literally cannot be mad at someone while you're laughing. I've seen absolute, like close to miracles take place just from that shift. They have to get over the stuff of, oh, this is foolish, all those messages we heard, don't be an idiot, don't be a fool, and all that. Right. Wipe the smile off your face. That's been programmed to us. And you said earlier, children laugh 300 times a day on average, and adults laugh 20.
Ugh.
It's that's the ratio, and it's sometimes way more than that because the kids aren't bombarded with the fear tactics that everyone's been using since the beginning of time. And I can't believe the smart people that fall for this, that watch the news and think, they don't realize the news only chooses what will get you upset. And then the drug company sponsors the news that handles the anxiety they just gave you. It's a whole circle.
That's exactly, I see the news at the gym. That's the only time I really see it in its entirety. And it's every channel. So there's always, it's whatever will make you most upset and whatever will help you to not be upset. But you're right. The show is upsetting. And then it comes on with like Sky Rizzy or some kind of weird made up, word about the psoriasis I can't get rid of because I'm so pissed. And
then you got 9 side effects.
Yeah.
The side effects last longer than the commercial. We were growing up, there was 0 commercials.
Yeah, you couldn't do it. It used to be illegal.
There was 0 commercials like this.
Is there as a therapist, when I had a private practice, something that if I could tell people one thing, and sometimes I would have couples come in, and at some point I would say, at what point are you going to be honest with the room or with yourself that you're scared to death, you feel out of control, and that it's your anger that's killing you is actually what you use to feel safe. And it's effing up everyone else around you.
Right.
It's ruining their lives. It's
Mostly you.
ruining your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you can't get any joy, so that's usually, it makes sense, but sometimes being angry all the time just is what we do so that we don't have to ever so we don't ever have to feel vulnerable.
You don't, yeah, and people don't understand. I teach this when I coach. Vulnerability is a superpower.
Absolutely. So you've developed a lot of this stuff, healing through laughter. And, it's not the first time on the show where we've talked to people. We've talked to other, comics that sort of realize the connection at one point in their life. Sometimes their material, reflects it. And we even talked to Chris Duffy not too long ago. He wrote a book called Humor Me, and it's all about the science of laughter and how it heals. And here you are, though, offering us some practical tools, some things that we can do, and even the tools themselves are funny as far as the name. I would say, I like them. I liked doing it earlier. Tell us about how people keep in touch with you. Where do they hear about all this?
CraigShoemaker.com, and write me a note. And I'm forming a laugh mob. That's what I want to do. I want to go out and actually bring laugh mobs. They have flash mobs. I want to do laugh mobs. I have one.
So just everyone starts laughing, or what?
Yeah,
how does that?
I did it. I conducted it in this casino in Louisiana. It was amazing. I planted people, and they start laughing. These people are trying to eat their their crab legs, and all of a sudden they look up, and it's contagious, and people laugh. And this is what I want to spread throughout the world. Spread the joy. And it's not Pollyanna either. It really does work. So many people, because we're so negative, we're so programmed that way, that it's difficult for people. So you have to reprogram. That's what I teach, is to recondition and reprogram ourselves through. We've been programmed to not laugh.
Did we get to the R? Is that the R? I don't think we
didn't get to the R. The R is reboot, reclaim, restore. That's the R in the laughter acronym.
Okay.
And that's the last one. And then so you get to keep doing this over and over again. And I always say repetition causes intuition. If you repeat these behaviors of adding more laughter to your life, eventually it becomes intuitive. So it's more intuitive for me to laugh than it is to respond with anger or fury, whatever it is. So,
well, I think feels safer. If I'm pissed, then I won't be as hurt. Maybe.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's a practice.
So these are things you use, Craig. I mean, these are things you use personally on a regular basis to feel better. Also,
I use them. Yeah, I'd say regular basis, and the more regular it is, the better it is. Period. That's the way. It's a practice. Just like you do your a workout. It's like, well, you got to do your laugh lunges, your serenity squats. So it's
good.
Just like going to the
alliterations, the puns. I mean, I've never actually thought about what if a person who has a great sense of humor got involved with wellness to this level, or with mental health to this level. And so I feel like you have a leveled up version of everything we would talk about in therapy.
Yeah. I level it up and take it to people talk about the word authenticity. Authenticity, they use that word all the time. I call it genuine energy flow. Get to genuine energy flow, who we are at our core, and get into that flow. And nothing can really stop you when you're in that flow. I mean, you'll have impediments and things like that, but a river keeps flowing. There's dams and rocks and sticks and twigs, but you're going to keep flowing as long as you engage in that area. But if you go stagnant and stay the same, then you're going to have a stagnant pond. You're going to get sick. To me, this is the medicine. This is the first medicine.
Hard to be
against. What's that?
Hard to be useful and sad. I heard Dr. Lisa D'Amour recently say.
Yeah.
And I thought that helped. And I connected it to Arnold's book, Be Useful, which is, I think he's doing mental health without trying it. Because I was like, that makes sense. That's what he means by that. Be useful. I used to think it was kind of being a jerk, but yeah. There's a last thing. There's a couple things you brought up earlier. Schitt's Creek. You brought up Cool Runnings. I have to ask what you've heard and what you know, and if you're open to talking about a saint in my. If I had a cult based on comedy, there's a few saints would be in it.
Okay.
And I think the patron saint would be a one John Candy.
Oh,
Did you ever have any interactions?
I have a story about John Candy that I use when I'm speaking.
Please, by all means.
I'll tell you what it is. I'll say to the audience, what do Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Patrick Mahomes all have in common?
I think the obvious with the NFL and being a quarterback.
The greatest quarterbacks of all time, right? What they have in common is they have fun. They have fun. Literally, Peyton Manning, I just saw him in a comedy movie. I couldn't even believe it. Wasn't playing himself, and he hosted Saturday Night Live. These guys are funny. They're in funny commercials. Aaron Rodgers, the greatest, and they're funny. So the story I tell is how funny loosens people up, loosens people in the huddle. You become more magnetic. People trust you if you're funny. So I teach people how to be funny, how you can find humor. It was this simple. I believe it was 1988 Super Bowl it was the 49ers against the Bengals. And they were on, I think, like the 9-yard line, having all those yards to go. And they get into the huddle, and he notices his left tackle, this young guy named Harris Barton, is really nervous. I think he's about to vomit. And Joe Montana, instead of going, come on, let's go, attention, the typical athlete stuff, high five, let's go, all that.
Right. Really, toughen up.
Yeah, exactly. Toughen up. What's wrong? He went the whole other way. He goes, hey guys. He's not there. He hadn't even called the play. He has to go all these yards to score. They're down by 4 points. So they had to score a touchdown to top it all. It wasn't even a field goal. And he goes, hey, look over your shoulder. That's John Candy over there. They all went, hey, it is. I love that guy.
And that is the effect.
And that was it. They went a historic drive. They drove all the way down and scored a touchdown, passed to John Taylor. The whole huddle loosened up from that one thing that Joe Montana said to John Candy, who was known as just being a funny, fun guy. My favorite comedy movie of all time is Planes, Trains, Automobiles.
Yeah, you said those aren't pillows earlier, and I agreed. Very it's a hell of a game.
Very season. Yeah. So that's what I talk about when I am speaking of this, of how your vibration changes. You can change it on a dime when you're doing something fun and funny.
Yeah. Yeah, even just funny person being present makes you feel more relaxed and like you can perform. That's a great story, Craig. I feel like, how did I not hear that before?
It brought up great feelings for these guys, because every one of them has seen him in something that made them laugh, Stripes or whatever it was. Yeah. That guy makes you laugh. Uncle Buck, he was always funny. I don't think he played a dramatic role. I just saw the documentary, and I can't remember a dramatic
role. Still makes me cry.
He played one. Dino from JFK.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was he was really excited about having getting into the dramatic roles, and he did it. If you've ever seen it.
Yes.
It's an incredible short part of the film.
Wow, interesting. I never would have known Dino either.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna end on a shot. On a killing, an assassination.
Nothing less hilarious than that.
Nothing says comedy. You were great, Craig Shoemaker. Thank you very much for leaving us with that image.
The funniest guy in showbiz. But actually, I don't think there's a time where I've heard you, whether it's Netflix or just on stage at a club, where you're saying anything that's not relatable and sort of bringing people together. So I appreciate it.
Look for the similarities, not the differences. Go be of service to the rest of the community, because guess what? Your laughter is contagious. Just like a disease is contagious or illness, so is laughter. So be a part of society, not against it. And let's unify. I don't want to be Pollyanna, but that's just the way it is. And I love living like that.
Nothing Pollyanna. That's a much harder life, Craig. And you're doing it. You got the courage. You're moving it forward, and you're taking people with you. So I think I just want to thank you and make sure that we do this again.
Right on. Thank you all.
Thanks so much, Craig.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Welcome back to Marlon helps. Is it weird to say welcome back?
Don't second guess yourself. People don't like that shit.
I can't start these normal. It's always weird. Guess what? We're at the end of the episode. No, we're not. Marlon helps. Marlon's here to help. Marlon's back. He's helping.
You thought it was the end. Not without me coming back in. I got to do some helping.
I've got a question for you from one of our dear listeners.
Hi, I'm Colleen. I recently signed up for exposure therapy for arachnophobia. I've been terrified of spiders for as long as I can remember, and it's so bad I feel a little ridiculous about it sometimes. I have kids, and I can't even handle reading them books with cutesy cartoon drawings of spiders, or if they ask to sing Itsy Bitsy Spider, I'm like, can we not? This fear has been such an intrinsic part of me for so long, it's hard to imagine that I could get any farther than maybe looking at photos of spiders. I want to be able to get to the point where I can drive a car with a spider in it. I nearly crashed when one showed up in my car, which is what got me to sign up for this. I really want the therapy to work, but just thinking about doing it makes me feel panicky. Part of me is convinced it's not going to work for me. Can therapy still work if I'm going into it with doubts? Is it possible that I'm too deep in this fear to get to a point of normalcy? Thanks.
Colleen, I appreciate you being vulnerable. Thank you also for being our first listener to submit a question. Now, you've put a lot of trust in us with this, and you notice how I say us because I'm bringing in producer Andrea in case this advice is not good.
I'm well qualified.
So, to answer your question, exposure therapy does not require you to necessarily believe anything. So I think that behaviorism, exposure therapy, the whole idea is that you would, in the same way you automatically get scared of a spider now, is it would become automatic for you to not be scared in the same way. And the idea is through multiple experiences where you know and have learned that the bad thing or the terrifying, if it goes into panic, whatever you are experiencing, you start to realize, not necessarily consciously, that that thing didn't happen. And you go through, it sort of notches up a little bit each time. You get a little more anxious. You do what you can to not take away the stimulus too early. And all through the timing, the frequency, and the duration of the exposure, like just sort of stepping that up a little each time and maybe stepping back or evening out when you have to not make it horrible. That is how exposure therapy tends to work.
Can I ask a question? I know this isn't my question, but you said to make sure you don't remove the stimulus too early. What's meaning, like, if you decide? Can you just say more? I'm curious about that.
Yeah. Let's say because the negative, you're trying to get through the negative feelings, and a lot of times one of the worst feelings a person can feel is just panic, or like they're going to die or something horrible is going to happen. And so picture on a graph your anxiety rising, and then what you want to happen is for your anxiety to get to a certain level and to sort of level off and maybe just sort of slowly come down. And then that's kind of how it would happen in the real world. But say you're afraid of flying and you wanted to right away do exposure therapy where you got on the plane, you're sitting there, you're having a panic attack, you're so anxious, you can't think, your sympathetic nervous system's taking over, and you're at the height of the anxiety and you say, I got to get off the plane. and they let you off the plane. Well, what you've just done is you've trained yourself that the way to completely feel better the fastest is to avoid the thing that's making you anxious. So it sort of does the opposite. So it can have the opposite effect if you take away the stimulus too early. You're looking for kind of and just in regular behaviorism, maybe this is more relevant for me since I have a 4-year-old, but if you uh if you kind of stand your ground in a loving way with a toddler, which is really hard to do because they're not always most reasonable. That's a nice way, I think, of saying it. The the idea is that if they're doing something that you don't want them to do, um, that you kind of gently, uh, redirect or correct them, and you don't let them do it. Eventually, the behavior gets worse, sort of ramps up, and whatever need they were looking to get met, whether they know it or not, it becomes more intense because they feel more like they need to get through to you if you're simply gently correcting them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then eventually, what you're looking for, though, is that behavior to have what we call an extinction burst, which means you got to the limit. They realized it didn't work. And then they stop doing what they were trying to do because they realize that, oh, this didn't work.
And that's like, so in this way, the phobia or whatever is the 4-year-old, like or your like nerve, like
in that way, it's I would just look at it as exposure. It's sort of like they're looking to, when you have a phobia, you're looking to get a need met, right? You're looking to avoid anxiety, to avoid the horrible feeling.
I swear this isn't my question, but what I was just about to say to you was not. See, I already forget what you just said, which was the healthier version of what I was going to say, which is to not die.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's what your brain tells you. Yeah, during a panic attack, that's literally a symptom is thinking you're going to die, and not really having sufficient evidence for that.
Yeah, hasn't happened yet. Doesn't mean it won't.
Yeah, you kind of, but eventually, we have our own extinction burst with panic because panic gets you all the way to a point where you think you're going to go crazy or die, and if you don't, then
what?
you start to, I struggled with panic in my early 20s, and I think when it first started happening, it was overwhelmingly horrendous. But as I started understanding what it was and that it actually wasn't going to kill me, I started to be able to manage it, and I did biofeedback and some different versions of the therapies we're talking about, but it helped.
That's cool. I don't know if this resonates for you or our listener, but then I find those things just get annoying because it's still, especially with the thing about a phobia is that it's illogical, right? But you still can't help, or irrational, but you still can't help but feel the real feelings attached to it. Like I'm gonna bet Colleen doesn't think a spider is going to cause her death, but still has that fear. And then it's, to me, like there's like frustration on top of it that is like
mad at yourself for come on, Marlon, you could do the thing though. For a lot of phobias, I'd say most, there is an element of danger and of being logical. There are a lot of spiders that can kill you. So I think I'm not sure that I think what goes wrong is you start to not see the other options, like killing the spider or getting rid of it or removing yourself from the situation.
Right.
And that when that starts happening, your brain kind of shuts off the problem solving area and goes into the survival area. That's what a panic attack is. Colleen, you can thank old B.F. Skinner, the behaviorist, and maybe Aaron Beck, because together behaviorism and cognitive behavior therapy going together is actually what's generally the most effective way to desensitize yourself with phobias.
Like Marlon said, Colleen, thank you for being vulnerable, for sharing that question. I hope this helped you. I hope it helps our listeners. As a reminder, this is not therapy for our listeners. This is Marlon sharing his expertise and his knowledge. And if anybody else would like to ask Marlon a question and get some help, they can head to thishelpspodcast.com/ask. Record your video like our dear listener Colleen here did, and send it over. And that's what you do.
Thanks, Colleen.
That's what you
Thanks,
do.
producer Andrea.
Producing. That's what it looks like.
Okay. Ever since I saw my first episode of Frasier, I was always, hoping that I could be just like Frasier Crane.
I'll take my answer off the air.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope it helped. Stay connected with us at This Helps Podcast and thishelpspodcast.com. We actually do update that website. It's pretty good. You can also review other people's reviews and then think about what you want to say about our show because it helps people find the show.